Have you ever noticed some people who can just disappear for a while? They don't reply immediately. They don't check their phone every 5 minutes. They can go hours without being online, and they don't feel guilty about it. While most people panic if they don't respond within 10 minutes, these people seem perfectly fine being unavailable. And you might think they're just rude or they don't care, but something else is going on. Let me explain what I mean. Think about two different people. One person feels anxious if they see an unread message. Their phone buzzes, and they have to check it immediately. They feel like they owe everyone instant access to them. The other person? They see the message. They'll respond later, and they don't stress about it. What's the difference? It's not that one person cares more than the other. It's that their brains learn different rules about connection. Here's the thing. Some people grew up in a time when you couldn't always reach someone, and that was normal. If you called someone and they weren't home, you just tried again later. Or you didn't, and that was okay. You made plans to meet at 3 p.m. and you showed up at 3 p.m. No texting, "I'm running late," or "Where are you?" You just trusted people would be there. And if they weren't, you dealt with it. This taught their brains something important. Being unavailable doesn't mean you don't care. But if you grew up with smartphones and social media, your brain learned something different. You learned that everyone should always be reachable. That not replying quickly means something is wrong. That silence equals rejection. So now, when someone doesn't text back immediately, you feel anxious. And when you don't reply fast enough, you feel guilty. Your nervous system treats unavailability as a threat. But people who remember life before constant contact, their nervous system is wired differently. They know that sometimes people are just busy, or thinking, or doing something else. And that's not a problem to fix. It's just life. They can sit with silence and not panic. They can be alone without feeling lonely. They can let a text sit for a few hours without their brain screaming, "You're a bad person." And here's what makes this even more interesting. These people aren't avoiding technology. They use it just fine. But they have something most people don't. A reference point. They remember what life felt like when you couldn't be reached all the time. When your thoughts were private, not posted. When your mistakes just faded away instead of living forever online. When boredom was just something you sat with, not something you immediately fixed with your phone. That memory changes how they use technology today. They can enjoy being connected without needing to be connected every second. They can appreciate having information at their fingertips without feeling like they need to check it constantly. They understand that relationships don't require constant maintenance through texts and likes. Sometimes people just exist in your life without you needing to see them or talk to them every day, and the relationship is still real. So why does this matter? Because right now, most people feel like they have no choice, like they have to be available all the time, or they're failing somehow. But people who lived in both worlds know something important. You don't have to be reachable every second to be a good person. You don't have to reply immediately to care about someone. You don't owe everyone instant access to you. And the beautiful part is, you can learn this too. Even if you didn't grow up in that world, you can teach your nervous system that it's safe to be unavailable sometimes. You can practice sitting with silence. You can let a message wait. You can put your phone away and trust that everything will be okay. Because being constantly available isn't connection. It's exhaustion pretending to be connection. Real connection happens when you're actually present, not when you're half there through a screen, distracted by notifications, always waiting for the next buzz. The people who seem so comfortable being unreachable, they're not cold, they're not careless. They just remember what it feels like to be fully where they are, and they're protecting that. So if you've ever felt guilty for not replying fast enough or anxious when someone doesn't text back immediately, just know this. Your worth isn't measured by your response time. Your relationships aren't defined by constant availability. And sometimes, the most caring thing you can do is give yourself permission to simply be unreachable for a while. Because before all this technology, that's just what people did. And somehow, connection still existed. Maybe even more deeply than it does now.